No effect. Greetings. No fruit. Hello, today is Sunday and it is the day of the Most High God. We must give thanks and rejoice in it. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It is Sunday. Yes, guys, what we need to do. So my mic is on. Come on, you need to get yourself sorted here. Yes. Greetings, comrades. Good morning. Grand uprising. The new glasses is calling. Guys, I don't know what happened to my eyes. This morning I woke up and I've got this left eye here is bloodshot, pure blood in it. I don't know what's happening and it's kind of paining me as well. But here we are, still giving gratitude. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, for his delight is in the law of the Most High God, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth its fruit in its season. Its leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Most High God knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Mulhal Martina, how are you? Greetings, good morning. This is the day of the Lord. This is the day of the Most High God, and we must give thanks. Guys, as you come on, please like the live. Yes, please subscribe if it's something you want to do. Matthews, Joe G, how are you? Kyra, greetings. Big love. Big respect, big manners. So, the last time I was here, that was Friday night, we were talking about the 12 laws of the multiverse. Yes? The main 12 that they gave us, them, I don't know who them, but they said we should do 12. They put 12 of the laws on the mainstream, and they kind of not paying attention to the others. Yeah, so that's where we're going to go on. I think I was on the law of action. That's number 5. You are very pretty, Ethonian. Thank you. So Mula Hall says, my name is backwards. Yes, I realize. Martina Mulhal. Yes, I realize. You're so beautiful. I guess you're beautiful too, Ethonian. Big love, big respect. Guys, we're going to, give me a moment, and we're going to dive into... We're going to dive into the laws of the multiverse. Ryan Prosser says, Prosser says, what is a black lady? What is a black lady? Bye, Martina. Have a good evening. You have to Google that. If you want to know what is a black lady, you have to Google it, yeah? Just do some Google or ask AI. AI will definitely tell you. Yeah? AI will definitely tell you what a black lady is. No doubt about it. Listen, you now bring me out here tonight. Trust me. Mhm. You're not going to bring me out. So let's, guys, please like up the live. Thank you. Thank you. Please subscribe. Thank you. I tell you, there's a law called give and take. If you're not giving, you won't be able to take. Trust me. I just want you to be aware that there's a law called give and take. Not take. You have to give before you take. The law is called give and take. Yes? And you only can take if you are giving. I come here and I am giving. I'm giving you everything that I've got in my heavens here. So of course I must be taking. So you remember that there's a law that says you have to give and take. Because this multiverse here knows exactly what we need. So when we give of our best, then the multiverse will give us what we need, not what we want, what we need. So we are going to jump into the law of actions. That's the number 5. That's the 5th law of the multiverse. Yes. And it says manifestation requires alignment or aligned action. So if you want to manifest, you have to align your action. If you want to manifest, you have to give and take. You get it? I hope you guys are following. You cannot take without you give. So you have to give and take. That's the order that it goes in. Give and take. So you have to align your action with it. You must take action to get results, and the action is give and take. However you want to look at it, it is what it is. Sitting on your butt and thinking about things in reality is good, but manifestation won't work like that. Although vibration is a big piece of the puzzle, it takes inspired action to get real results. The key word here is inspired action. And inspired action is an action that aligns with what you are really passionate about. You will know it because this job should be challenging but enjoyable. It will not bring in a sense of struggle with frustration and anxiety. Any successful person will tell you that their success is accompanied by a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. This is not to scare you, but to motivate you. Writers often say that hours go by unnoticed when they are writing because their work is a labor of love. They worked hard, but they did not suffer. Their actions may or may not become bestsellers. In fact, they may never see the light of day. Achievement lies not in the result, but in what they have learned in the process. When you are consistent with what you really want, the work will not seem tedious. No, I'm going to emphasize on that a little bit. So, your action may not bring about the biggest result. That's what it's saying here. Yeah? And you may never see the result of your action when you put good work in or good action. I am Mia. Okay, Mia. Big love, big respect. Ty Berries. Hey, pretty. How you doing? I think she's from Jamaica. She is. She's definitely from Jamaica. Born and bred. Big love, big respect. Jamaica in the house. Yes. So we're talking about giving and taking. We're talking about number 5, the 5th law of the multiverse, which is the law of action. Yes. So sometimes, if you notice, guys, most people who act or who write, then they're not usually um, famous during their time, but after they died, sometimes some of these people get so famous. But you have to, whether you're going to get it after you die or before your death, you have to put that work in for the result. That's what the law of action is. You cannot sit down and claim it. You have to put action into works or work into action, and then you can achieve or receive whatever you will. That's what this law is saying. Your desires are brought to you via thought, and you receive them by deciding to take action. So the key word here in this law is action. You have to take action. And that also comes with risk, because we don't know we have to take that risk for it. Sometimes even the smallest actions will bring greater opportunities, which can then lead to other things that bring you closer to your goal. I'm going to tell, on that note, and so on. I'm going to tell you a story. Today, I went to church today. I went to a church today called All Saints. No, guys, my action is really, or my determination, or you could say action, is really leading me to somewhere. It might be small steps. It might be helping me to take some small steps, but those small steps is going to be what's going to put the bigger steps in. I hope you understand it. So I went to church today, and one lady invited me from the first poetry I went to. I went to that poetry group on the 24th of February, last Tuesday, yes? And it was about probably 30, 40 people there, yeah? And I did my poems, and I met a lady there. I met this lady, and the lady invited me to her church. She said, come Sunday. She said, come Sunday to church. She said it starts at 10:30, but she said if you get there for 10:15, she will be at the door to welcome me. So I woke up this morning and I give thanks. I give all my gratitude to the sun, to the moon, to the star, to the clouds, to the river, to the sea, to nature, to Mother Nature, Mother Earth, to all living things. I gave my gratitude. And then I nearly forget to go to the church. And then I remember and I said, okay. So I drop everything. No, I've got so much to do. But I dropped everything I had to do this morning. I said, I'm going to go because it will get me out. One, it will get me to socialize with people, to see people, to talk to people, because I like to talk. So I went, and when I went, the lady came out and meet me there, and she said, come on in, come on in. And I went in, and I sat quietly, and I sang from the book, and I I repeat what they say to repeat. The only thing I did not do, I did not take the communion because I don't take communion lightly. I think communion is something that if you are taking it, you have to make sure, and you have to be serious. You can't take those things lightly. So I didn't go up for the communion, the blood of Jesus and the body of Jesus. I did not take it. So I sat there and I was there until the service over. And the lady said to me, come on in. You can share a coffee with us. You can share a coffee. They had some sweets there, Some they have some biscuits, and they have some coffee. So I said, I'm not really a coffee drinker, but I said I will take a coffee because everybody was sipping. So then she said to me, come over here and meet the father, the priest. So there were three of them standing at the door, and I went over and I greeted them, and I said, my loves, I said, greetings. I said, I be more you and give you grace. So I greeted them. And the lady who introduced me, and she was saying, oh, she's a poet, I met her at this poetry evening, and she had some lovely poems, and the introduction was going on. And we were there talking, and they were talking about my writing and stuff. And the priest said to me, they are inviting me to some other event that they keep there at the church. And he said to me, guys, I want you to write about this building, write about this church. I want you to write something about it. And the next time when you're here, you're going to tell us what you write. And I said, my God, I was well chuffed. I said, at least. So what I did, I like those Church of England. They're like Anglican Church of England church. Guys, the furniture and the inside of the building is just beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I went and I took a few pictures and I said, okay, so now I have to do my little research on it and put something together so that I can read it to them when I'm next day. So even though it did not bring money to me, that little going there this morning, it did not bring a lot to me, but at least it is the small steps. And the small steps start from when I leave my house to go there. That's the small step. Yes, decided when I have the good intention and my desire, and decided to get myself ready, to get dressed, to drive to the church. That was the small step. First small step, and then I went there and I was welcoming there, and then they asked me to write something about the church. So it's small steps, and I'm going to hold it as a small step, but who knows where that's going to lead me. It might lead me somewhere that I can look back and I said, wow, so small steps are good sometimes. Annie, greetings, my love. How are you? Diva, somebody say, Armella says, hey, Diva. Thank you. Okay, so we're carrying on, guys. We are in the number 5 law of action. It's the law of the multiverse, number 5. 5 of 12. So we are reading here, and it says, this is not always obvious, so the trick is to use your intuition and don't overthink or let yourself get in the way. We are conditioned to believe that the result comes from hard work, which is true, but we can decide whether this work is a process of struggle or mastery. So even somebody said, oh, you're working hard. You have to decide Why are you working hard? What you working hard for? Is it going to be a struggle to work hard for you? Or is it going to be master, something that you're going to learn, you're going to master, something that you're going to be good at? Yeah? So here's the advice. Take inventory of what you do in your daily life. Do your actions meet your desires? This is a question that you have to ask yourself. Is the actions that you are doing daily, is does it meet your desires? If so, does it feel like a challenge or a struggle? You have to decide that. Challenge is good for you, but the struggle is a sure sign that you need to ease up a bit. So whatever you're doing, if it's a struggle, you just have to calculate it and ease up. Or you have to know if it is a good challenge that will bring you something favorable. Greetings, guys. Blessed day to you, Empress and Eve. Blessings to you too, my love. How are you doing? I'm talking about the laws of the multiverse, yes? So we are on number 5. I started it on Friday. I gave 4 of them. So tonight I'm on number 5, yes? Going to read, it's 12 of them. So we're going to break it down. We're going to read it and we're going to break it down a little bit, guys, and that you can follow it, yeah? So practitioners of the law of attraction often wish they had known the law of action earlier. How can you achieve without action? How can you ever how can you get paid without doing some action? Yes? How can you publish a book if you don't write the book? You get it? So action, the law of action has to come before the law of attraction. Because you have to put your action, if it's even thinking, if it's even curating these ideas, you have to put it in action first before you can put it in attraction. I hope we are clear on that. So then it says, these two laws are closely linked, and the law of actions tell us that we must actively pursue our goals. Action. The more you do, the more you get. The more you give, the more you take. The more you love, love come back to you. The more you do of whatever you do, it's the more of it that comes back to you. The more you hate on somebody, that's the more hate come back to you. The more you're kind to somebody, that's the more kindness come back to you. And that's the law of action. Many people think that visualizing goals and developing a positive attitude towards them is enough to use the law of attraction. But you must also take inspiring steps to achieve the goals you want. Whether it is a big step or a small step, it will immediately help you attract the improved relationship, job, or abundance you are looking for. Thank you for liking the live, guys. Love from India. India in the house. Big love, my love. Amanda Dilworth, how are you? Stopping in to say, hey, friend. I'm at work right now. Oh my God. We are just talking about work and action because we are in number 5 of the law of action. We must do action. And I was just saying to these guys, you cannot get paid if you don't put the work in. So with the law of attraction, we have to be curating if it's words or if it's hard work, but you have to make sure that whatever you choose to do in your action, it brings something, and make sure it's not a struggle. So if you're going to work every day and you're tired and it's struggling and it's hard and it won't make any sense. So you have to make sure you are putting in that action in a good way to receive from it. I hope it makes sense. Yes? So we go on. It says closely related to the law of action, of attraction. The law of action is all about taking real actionable steps to invite what we want into our lives. This inspiration often comes from the heart. Inspired action is that gentle internal nudge. It's not always a plan of action, but it's that nudge that you feel in your heavens, in your heart, in your mind, in your thoughts. Wherever you find that little nudge, that's where you take the action. You get it? Because if as I was saying, if I did not take this action to go to the church this morning, then I wouldn't met the priest. And then the priest wouldn't ask me to write something about the church. Yes? So we have to take actions that will bring whatever we are looking for, whatever we are seeking for. To practice this rule is to slow down, getting quiet, and creating space for inner guidance. When we put aside the need to organize and control how things work, but are open to all possibilities, it opens up space for new ways to achieve goals that we may not have considered. While the law of attraction is about aligning yourself with what you want, the law of action is about taking action to accomplish what you want. So it's a difference. The two of them is closely linked, but there's a difference between the law of attraction and the law of action. We just said it. The law of attraction is about aligning yourself with what you want, but the law of action is about taking action to accomplish what you want. Therefore, you can certainly create a vision board, but it is more important to take practical steps to bring yourself closer to your vision. Practical steps we need to take, yes. And that ends the law of action. So now we are going to go on to the law of cause and effect. That's the 6th law of the 12 laws of the multiverse. Every action has a consequence. No matter how the action is simple, every action has a consequence. We've been saying that. We didn't have to go into the law of action or the law of the multiverse to know that. We know that when we do whatever we do, if we do good things, good consequences will come to us. And we know if we do bad things, bad consequences will come to us. Yes, so we don't have to really know, but to know that we know, it should strengthen our action, if that makes sense. Big love, guys. Big respect. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for subscribe. Thank you for your presence. We're learning and we're growing. And we're moving on. So this law of cause and effects, it says every action has a consequence. The principle that one's intentions and actions influence one's future is so omnipresent that it appears in many other spiritual traditions. Karma is a popular example. I believe that almost all cultures in the world have some form of. You reap what you sow. Or what goes around comes around in their lexicon. Going back to the first universal law, we know that everything we think or do is not in isolation because we are all connected energetically, whether it is good or bad, our thoughts and our actions will eventually be reflected back to us in some ways or the other. Shallow men believe in luck, strong men believe in cause and effect. Cause and effect. Yes? So this says, Ralph Waldo says, shallow men believe in luck. Christians believe in miracles and blessings. And some people believe in cause and effect. Big love, big respect. Thank you guys for liking the live. Rugul Gray, greetings. Can you talk about something else now? You first, Rugul Gray, you first have to learn about the laws of the multiverse. That will help you to make conscious decisions. That will help you to know that next time you see your brother, you don't hate them or fight them. This will also make you know that everything in the multiverse is aligned, I wouldn't say aligned, it's not all aligned, but everything is connected. So you need to learn the laws first. And then when you learn the laws, then you can probably make better decisions. Yes? Okay, I hope so. If you want to be loved, love the people around you. I know you hear me. I know. If you want to be loved, you have to first love the people around you. You have to, I would say, first love yourself. And if you love yourself first, you will be loved and everybody else around you. Yes? If you want abundance, give generously. Yeah, we were just talking about giving and taking. You cannot take without giving. If you want to live a healthy life, you must eat well and exercise regularly. If this is so simple, why do we have hard time with it? I think the awareness of our own actions, thoughts, and intentions have a lot to do with this. When it comes to our ideas, we are often in a self-driving state, so we don't realize there's an opportunity to update them for more favorable results. So then we go on to this segment and it says, awareness is key. The problem is that we are not always aware of our thinking patterns, and then we want to know how the situation ultimately happened to us. Screaming, why me? Why not me? You know, somebody screaming, why me? I'm saying, why not you? It happens to all of us. So that why me is a low vibration victim mentality. You don't say why me. It's low vibration. And if it is not controlled, it will continue to provide an experience that makes us feel victimized. Instead of why me, take a deep breath and ask a more empowering question. What did I do for this? What did I do for this? Ask yourself, question yourself, and you might find the answers right there to change the narrative, to go back and cancel it. What did I do? Be honest with yourself when answering this question. When we take responsibility for our situation instead of becoming their victims, we begin to see that we are not puppets. In fact, we are puppet masters. So instead of saying you're a puppet, you're the master of the puppet. I love this. If it's about taking responsibility for your life and being aware of aligning your thoughts and actions with the result you seek to achieve. The advice in this segment says, look at your life and see how your intentions, your thoughts, and actions contribute to what you experience. Next time, seize the opportunity to make a better decision and then watch those negative situations turn into positive ones. Guys, since I came here, I've been saying, if you are living and you're not growing, it's not a good thing. If you are living and you are not making changes, it means that you are not learning. Because when we learn, we make changes. You get it? One of the simplest laws in the universe, multiverse, the law of cause and effect, tell us that all actions have corresponding reactions. Of course, you know this when it comes to the physical aspect of the world. However, you may not have considered how this law applies to spiritual aspect of our multiverse. Yes, this is best life ever. Ruguli, thank you. That is best life ever. It's so good stuff. Big love, big respect. Thank you for being here. So we're going to the other segment, guys. Your spiritual life affects the world around you, causing positive or negative reactions. Likewise, your physical environment affects your spirituality. For better or for worse, ask yourself what kind of relationship you see between the spiritual and the physical aspects and how you might want to change them. Relatively simply, this law highlights the direct relationship between actions and events. The important thing to note here is that we usually cannot see the effects immediately, but they will eventually appear. Greetings, guys. Good morning. Good evening. Thank you. Yes. So I hope we are learning from this, guys. Any question? If you have a question, you can ask me. Any question, I'll answer it to the best of my ability. What you put out there may not come back to you in that moment. You get it? Whatever we do this moment might not come back to us. If we put bad aura out there, it might not come back to us in that same moment. But that vibration, that energy you put out there has a ripple effect. It has a ripple effect. If you're coming from a place of anger or resentment, if you put that energy out there, you'll eventually be affected as a result of it. No, guys, I am a therapist. I do massages. And I need a massage from time to time, but I will not just go to anybody for a massage. Because massage is energy. You're swapping energy with the person who is massaging you. So I have to think sensible before I just take myself and go naked before somebody to do me a massage. Because I don't know what energy they are bringing to me. Yes? Literally, we reap what we sow. Everything we experience in life is a result of a chain of events or activities. The law of cause and effect, also known as the law of karma. Theo, greetings, my love. Also known as the law of karma, stipulates that every action will cause a reaction. And no matter what you put in, no matter how good or bad it is, it will come back to you, no matter what it is. To take advantage of the power of this law, be aware that your actions and decisions will affect not only yourself, but everyone around you. So focus on sending out only good vibrations. Maybe don't Rude Gray says, maybe don't be inappropriate. There you go. Supersonic say, can you remember me? I was the Roblox guy. I remember Roblox, but you change your name. Most of these guys that I know in the time I started here, most of you change your name. So it's hard for me to kind of know that it's you. Thank you for coming. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Rosie said, don't be inappropriate. Don't be inappropriate. I get it. Roblox guy, how you doing? I hope you are well. We are talking about the laws of the multiverse. There are 12 of them. And we are now in the sixth one, which is the law of cause and effect. Whatever you do comes back to you. What goes around comes around. It's karma. There's always consequences to our actions. So now we are moving on to the seventh law of the multiverse, seventh out of 12, which is the law of compensation. We are rewarded for our right action. You get no reward for the action that's wrong. You get no reward for the actions that we do that's not good. So, we are only rewarded for the right action when we do the right thing. So now it's saying, you will be compensated based on what you give. It's all boiling back down to what I'm saying, give and take. You know, some people go, some people probably not well off, but they've got some clothes and shoes, or they have something else. But let's use clothes and shoes. And they are going to change their wardrobe. Yes? And they are going to give away some clothes. And what these people do, they gave away the clothes that they don't need, the one that's not good. Maybe have a rip there, maybe stretch out there, maybe they gave away what is not good. That's not a good thing. If you are giving something to somebody, you must learn to give it your best. Give them your best. If you can't give your best, don't give at all. Some people have shoes and they don't want them anymore, and they gave away the worst ones. So in reality, what we should do, we should only give what we want for ourselves. If it's not good for me, I'm not going to give it to you. We only want to give what is good for us, what we like, things that looks good, things that's pretty. We must only give away what we would accept for ourselves. Yeah? So it says this is an extension of the law of cause and effect, especially for compensation in the material world. Good things such as abundance, relationships, and opportunity. This law states that we will be blessed based on good deeds we do and the value we provide. The value of the goods that we provide. How can you give somebody a trousers and it's ripped from one end to the other? The button is gone. The zip is spoiled. You cannot find yourself in that situation giving those things away because you wouldn't want it for yourself. Yeah? When we show generosity to others, we will be rewarded back generously. Remember, there are many forms of compensation, not just cash. A beautiful house, a Ferrari, or a reward for relaxing on the beach. Compensation also comes in the form of blessings, such as good health. Guys, I'm going to tell you a story about this good health. Loyal friends, loving families, teachers or mentors, job opportunities, $1 million ideas, etc. Many times we give others what we think they deserve. This mentality is good, but it cannot be transformed into abundance. However, if we change our mindsets to our delivery and exceed expectations, we will be compensated accordingly. But they don't like so giveaway. They don't like to give away. I know some people don't like to give away. But guys, let me tell you my generosity and my giving. I like to give. I love giving. Doesn't matter what. And if it's good for me, I can give it to you because I like it and it's good for me. Nothing is too good for me to give somebody else if I see the need for them getting it. But you know, some people, when some people gave you things or give, we say give, some people give you something, they are expecting to receive straight away. For example, some people go to church and they put an offering and they expect to get $1 million or pound. Because they put offering, they expect to get it in monetary value. No, some of this compensation, I always say the multiverse. This multiverse knows exactly what we need. You get it? I might be sitting here and I'm thinking, oh my God, I need £10,000. Oh my God, I need to pay me rent. I need that. I need to do that. I might be thinking that. But the multiverse know me more than I know myself. So the multiverse is thinking, okay, now, Sister Empress need a house. Sister Empress needs some money. Sister Empress probably need a pair of shoes, for example. Yes? So the multiverse is saying, you need that, you need that. But the multiverse is saying, but hold on a minute. I know Sister Empress wants money. I know she wants clothes. I know she wants shoes. I know she wants a house. But I am going to give her what she needs, not what she wants. So now my need is, let's say my need is health. So right there, the multiverse is going to calculate it and says, even though I need a house, I need some money, but she need good health. So the multiverse is going to come and give you good health first. Now, with the good health, you can use your good health and you can earn and you can buy a house, you can buy some clothes, you can buy everything you want with that good health. But let's say the multiverse, you said you want the house and the multiverse says, let's give her a house. And immediately after you get the house, you take sick, and then you probably don't inherit that house because you took sick. You get it? I had a teacher always targeted me called Miss Monte and really annoyed me so much. I told her she needs to be fired. That's true. If she's rude to you, she needs to be fired. I don't blame you. You get it, guys? So what we is not what we want, we get. We get what we deserve. What we need, not want. Because want and need is two different things. So we get what we need. So next time you're giving somebody a cup of tea, don't expect somebody to come and give you 10 cups of tea. Next time you're giving somebody a pair of shoes, don't expect somebody going to bring a pair of shoes to you. That kind gesture that you just shown to somebody might bring you into unexpected places where you will get more than a cup of tea. You get it? That's how I see it anyway. And I believe that's how it is. We don't get what we want, we get what we need at the moment. Because if we have health, we can work money, we can buy whatever we want. But if you've got money and you've got no health and no strength, then you won't be able to do anything. She doesn't deserve to be a teacher. Well, complain on her and let her go. I just accidentally hit my head on my wall. Next time you have to be more careful, my friend. Be more careful. Yeah? So we will be compensated accordingly. Not what we want. No, you have some people who want husband and some people want wives. But they have to do some groundwork first. You get it? So now if you cry into the multiverse and you said, oh my God, I'm tired of being lonely, I want a husband or I want a wife. No, you have to do that groundwork to work on yourself, that when you meet, love yourself, work on yourself, that when you meet that husband, you will be good for the husband or you'll be good for the wife. So the advice here is you get what you put into life. So whatever you do, do your best and strive to be the best you can be. Be generous and kind, and then when it comes back to you, accept it graciously with open arms. According to the law of compensation, which we are on now, you will receive what you put out. This is similar to the law of attraction, but focuses on the idea that compensation can take many forms. For example, if you get a lot of money, then you might think that you are getting rewarded. However, depending on your lifestyle, your large wealth may lead to a worse life rather than a better life. Essentially, you reap what you sow. This law reminds you to be careful with others, even with the planet. The planet, yeah? For example, to work with this law in a way that attracts or compensates love and support, ask yourself, where am I called? Where am I called today to serve and support others? That's the question. When you want the compensation, this is the question. Where am I called today? Who am I going to give a cup of tea? Who am I going to serve? Who am I going to support today? That's the question. It instills trust in us that we will be compensated for our work as long as we are open to receiving in all the many ways that the universe, the multiverse, can deliver it. So next time the question is, who am I going to help today? Who am I going to be kind to today? Who am I going to love more today? Those questions. And when you answer them honestly, then you go ahead and you do put the action in, and then the multiverse will compensate. The law of compensation. What needs to be clear is that compensation in this area is not limited to employment, agreements, or monetary compensation. It's not limited to money. So if you go somewhere and you help an old lady carry her shopping, or you go to the old lady house and you help her to carry out her bin, this is not limited to money. It's not limited to money. It could be for some other reason. You could need something other than the multiverse provided for you. Rather, it is about getting compensation for all your contributions to the world around you, including the love, joy, and kindness you spread. Everything is rewarded. What a beauty. And that ends the law of compensation. So now we are going to go into the 8th law because it's 12 of them. So I've just done 5, 6, 7, and now we are on the 8th law of the 12 laws of the multiverse. And it says energy is always moving and always changing. Beautiful. Let's dive into it. So when we do 8 now, we've got 4 left. I might leave some of it for my next live. I always be kind to people. Rovan X. Yes, that's good. Being kind is always good. And don't think you're being kind for nothing. You're kind for something. The multiverse will replenish and compensate. And that's a fact. Rovan says, hello, Rugul Gray. How you doing? So we are on the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Energy is always moving and always changing. That's the one we're on. The 8th law of the 12 laws of the multiverse. I love these laws. It says, this is one of my favorites when I'm feeling especially stuck. Thus far, we've talked about the importance of energy and maintaining a high vibration. In fact, that each one sounds good, but we all know that life throws us curveballs that just plain suck. If we only had the primary 7 universal laws, we'd be living in fear of negative situations. This law reminds us that there's nothing to be scared of because energy is usually in flux, and better still, you've got the power to transmute, or you've got the power to change the energy. You've got the power. We've all got that power. We can change our energy. Yes? So this segment says the superpower law. You may sound as if you have a superpower, and that's because you do. It is one of those things that sound obnoxiously easier than it is. You would have heard energy flows where attention goes, which is the gist of this law. Who is the thinker of your thoughts? Who is the thinker of your thoughts? That's a question for you guys. Who is the thinker of your thoughts? You are. So by exercising your power to activate thoughts that serve you instead of those that don't, you can transmute negative vibes first into neutral ones, then into the happier territory. You transmute them. So you can put them into neutral. When you get all those negative thoughts, put them into neutral. And then you can move them to happier territory. So Victor says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. I love that. Something to consider. And if you try it, it will work, because it worked many times for me. But as I said, we are human, so we will fall back into things. We will fall short of things because we are human and we are not perfect. And also, things that we practice, it will become real to us. If we practice it long enough, it will become us. You get it? Remember Dwayne, the annoying barrister from the first law. Let's say he got fired from his job and came home to see that his boyfriend Ben left him. Shitty things happen, and they're sure to be some low frequency thoughts that arise. Of course, we can't just stop low frequency. They will come, but you have to put them into neutral and change them. So be more low frequency thoughts that arise: anger, resentment, sadness, and so on. These emotions are valid and should be acknowledged. But there's difference between acknowledging and wallowing. So the difference is if you're going to acknowledge that you're in low frequency and put them into neutral and change them, or you're going to wallow in them. So this is where affirmations also come in, guys, because my perfect affirmation is if you wake up one morning and you feel like, oh my God, you have to get the kids ready to school, you have to take the dog out, and you probably have to go to work yourself. But you wake up in the morning, let's say you wake up 5:30 and you say, oh my God, I'm not feeling well today. And you said, let me just lie down 10 minutes more, and you have another 10 minutes and you're still not feeling well. Are you going to stay in bed all day when you have the children to go to school, you have the dog to walk, and you're probably going to work? You cannot wallow in that. You cannot wallow in that not feeling well, in that self-pity. So guess what you have to do? You have to kick yourself and get up. You have to kick yourself and get up, ready the kids for school, walk the dog, and by the time you do all these things, then the multiverse will meet you halfway. And that narrative will change. I know it will. I have been in my house, guys. I'm telling you this story now. I've been in here, and some days I want to go out sometimes, just go to my local pub, probably have a whiskey and probably meet new people and stuff. But sometimes when I look through the window and I see the coldness outside and I think, oh my God, it's too cold outside. I don't want to go there in the cold. And for days I will be in my house here. Don't move a foot because I am cold. And I think, so last Tuesday night when I went to that poetry gig, when I was getting ready here and I looked through the window, it looked really cold out there because you could see the trees swaying. And I'm thinking, oh my God, should I go? At one point, I nearly not go. I was saying, oh my God, I don't want, should I go? Maybe. And I said, I'm thinking about the poems. And I said, I want to go because I want to go to read my poem, that somebody can hear them, And in that negative thought, I managed to kick myself. I kick myself so hard. And I get dressed and I put my clothes on and I grabbed my car key and I went through the door. And I drove to the venue. And guys, when I alight the car and go ping and lock the door and walking up to the venue, it's like the multiverse, it's like a Jamaica warmth. By me walking away from the car, it's like Jamaican warmth just grabbed me straight into that venue. I didn't feel 1 inch of cold. It's because of my determination to go to the poetry. Because I kicked that negative low frequency that I had earlier. And because my intention was good, and I set my desire to go and read from my book, from my work that I have written, it's like the whole Caribbean come and meet me outside the car and took me straight into the venue. Guys, I wasn't even wearing a coat or a jacket. But I'm telling you how you can change the narrative and kick yourself and lose the guilt and lose all these negative low frequency. Yeah? So that's what's happening. That's a difference. You're going to acknowledge something or you're going to wallow in it. You decide. Eventually, the pity party gets to an end, and Dwayne must pick himself up again by upgrading his thoughts to ones that serve him instead of ones that keep him stuck at the pity party. Maybe he didn't like that job anyway, so this just means he'll have more time to focus on finding a much better one. As for Ben, he was such a mess that Dwayne would spend hours cleaning up his messes after coming home from his shift. So now his thoughts begin to shift, wherein he can spend more time enjoying his clean home. This energy shift doesn't happen overnight, but in small steps, things are beginning to get better for Dwayne. Guys, I just want you to remember that it is the small steps, not the big ones, not the big giant leap. It's just the small steps that will take you wherever you are going. Yeah? Let's see where we are at now, because we moved. We have moved. So we're going to give the advice now on this chapter. And this chapter is chapter 8, and it is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. So the advice is you always have the ability to trigger positive change in your life by choosing a better feeling thought in any given situation. Be aware of the stories you tell yourself and upgrade them into ones that get you closer where you would like to be instead of keeping you stuck where you are. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy states that everything around us is in constant flux, constant movement. You can't see all of those changes because many of them exist at the secular or atomic level, but they keep going on regardless. The reason that it is so important to be aware of the law is that it helps you to see how you have the ability to trigger positive change, specifically how high vibrations can trigger improvements in low vibrations. For instance, if you are vibrating at a low frequency, exposing yourself to the high frequency of a cheerful, encouraging friend will naturally trigger energy transmutation into you. Yeah? This law states that on an energetic level, everything within the universe, multiverse, is continually evolving or fluctuating. Every action is preceded by a thought, with thoughts themselves having the ability on eventually manifest in our physical reality. Yes? Ever been around a negative person and felt your own positivity depleting? That's one example, but it also can work the opposite way around. Higher frequency transmute lower ones when applied with intention. Knowing this, we can actively seek to uplift negative energy around us with our thoughts and our actions. This law means that even the smallest action can have a profound effect. Like the seed of a mighty tree holds all its promise in its tiny shell, you also have the power within you to move mountain. Because if your seed is as small as a mustard seed, you can remove mountains. To put the law into practice, it is recommended to do small things that will uplift your energies every day. Whether it is singing in the shower, dancing like nobody's watching, or anything that works for you. Remember, small changes equal big results. Guys, and I'm going to leave you on this note. I went to church today and the priest asked me to write something in a poetry that can talk about in his church. Big love, big respect, big manners. Guys, we have 9, 10, 11, and 12 laws to complete on my next time here. My next time should be about Tuesday. I think I will come on here Tuesday. So let me tell you how far we've been. We've covered the law of divine oneness. There are 12 laws of the multiverse. We've covered the law of divine oneness, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of correspondence, the law of action, the law of cause and effect, the law of compensation, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That's 8 of them we've covered so far. So now on my next live here, we have the law of relativity, which is 9, 10, the law of polarity, 11, the law of rhythm, and number 12, the law of gender. So on my next live here, we'll cover the other 4 to make it the complete 12 laws of the multiverse. May God the Most High bless you. I be more you myself and give you grace. May peace abound in your house, in your family. Yes? In your life, may you have peace in abundance. And I said, God bless. Big love, big respect, big manners. I see you Tuesday, guys, at 7:30 p.m. GMT, London.